The GodHead Nexus test files are not ordinary software tests. They are not asking whether a feature works. They are asking whether that feature deserves to exist at all. And that single difference changes everything. Most blockchain systems test for speed, throughput, yield, and profit. These tests focus on boundaries, failure, and damage control. They treat trust not as a feeling, but as something that must be enforced by code. That is why what we are seeing is not an upgrade. It is a replacement of the idea of trust itself. Let's start with payments. In the payment tests, a payment is not a right. It is not something you are free to do just because you own tokens. A payment is a state change that must be justified. Apps can request a payment, but they cannot execute it. Execution passes through the Pi browser, the wallet, and Nexus judgment. External bridges are rejected by design. That means freedom is no longer the foundation. Safety is. In old crypto, you are free and therefore vulnerable. In this system, freedom is limited so that damage is limited. Trust is no longer placed in people. It is placed in structure. Now look at the AI tests. They don't just test intelligence. They test authority. AI predictions trigger system events. If the AI fails, the system stops. There is no human override. That tells us something uncomfortable but powerful. Trust is no longer social. It is not based on reputation, community, or belief. It is executable. If execution fails, trust fails. Not because someone lied, but because the system itself refused to continue. Humans are no longer the final judges. Validated computation is. Now let's talk about DeFi. The words are still there. Lending, borrowing, yield, staking. But the meaning is gone. Interest is no longer market-driven. It is risk-scored by AI. Liquidation is not reactive. It is predictive. Rewards are conditional, not speculative. DeFi is no longer a casino. It is a behavioral engine. You are not rewarded for being early. You are rewarded for being safe. Speculation is not banned. It is made ineffective. You can try to gamble. But the system is built so gambling doesn't scale. Now the most shocking part. The DEX. The exchange still exists. But the market does not. Prices are fixed to a constant. Order books do not discover price. Swaps are internal settlements, not speculative trades. External assets are rejected completely. This means something radical. The exchange is no longer a wealth machine. It is an accounting system. It exists to move value safely, not to multiply it through risk. So what does all this mean? It means the real collapse is not technological. It is psychological. Crypto didn't fail because blockchains are weak. It failed because humans cannot carry infinite trust. Legacy crypto depends on user vigilance, narratives, social trust, hope. This architecture rejects all of that. Instead, trust is coded, speculation is neutralized, bad behavior is not punished. It is made useless. Value comes from participation, not expectation. This is not freedom versus control. It is chaos versus containment. People say users want freedom. History says users want safety. Every major system humanity adopted, money, law, infrastructure, moved from freedom to constraint. Because constraint lowers the cost of trust. And when trust becomes too expensive, society changes its architecture. That is what these tests are saying. Not in speeches, not in marketing, but in code. They are not promising a better future. They are forbidding a dangerous one. They are saying, certain financial behaviors are no longer allowed to function. Not morally, not politically, technically. Legacy crypto may survive as a high-risk niche. But trust-critical systems, payments, services, real economies, will move where trust is cheapest. Not because the technology is cooler, but because fear is expensive. And systems that remove fear always win. Traditional crypto offers freedom that demands constant caution. This architecture offers constraint that removes the need for caution. History shows, societies always choose the second.